I am not the coach that is going to tell you to go to the grocery store and buy all the chips and all the donuts and all the cake, and that is totally okay. In fact, you don't even want that. I know that you care about your health. You want to feel really good. You want to take really good care of your health and your body. And you'd probably rather enjoy like your homemade chocolate chip cookies or your sourdough bread, knowing what you put in it. And that this type of way of eating, making homemade stuff and knowing what you're putting into your food actually just makes you feel better. However, of course, you want to also get to a point where you want to go to the restaurant and have the dessert and order exactly what you want without feeling guilty, right? That's what you really want. And that's what I can support you with, because that is what a healthy relationship with food looks like. You know, most people will think freedom. This is why I hate food freedom. I almost never talk about food freedom, because food freedom is really just like eat whatever you want, and that's not what you want. You want to feel good. You want to take care of yourself. You want a healthy relationship with food. You want to be intuitive. And being intuitive and having a healthy relationship with food is actually not eating all the cake and donuts and chocolate and sweets just because you can. Just because technically you've stopped dieting. Just because technically you've released your food rules. Like you don't want that. And this is what actually will leave you spiraling out of control and feeling super bloated and inflamed and sluggish. A healthy relationship with food is not, I just eat whatever I want. It's honoring your cravings for the chocolate or the ice cream when you want it, and then being able to stop when you've had a decent amount. It's saying no to foods that don't make you feel well. That's not depriving yourself. That's, this food literally does not make me feel well, so maybe I'm going to have less of it or I don't have it as often. And the reality is you don't even want those foods that make you not feel well, right? Like you want to make the empowered decision to not eat them because you know that they don't make you feel well, right? A healthy relationship with food is eating plenty of whole foods because you want to feel amazing in your own skin. You want high energy. You want to live a healthy, long life. For me, I stopped focusing on calories, because it wasn't even about, oh, I don't want to eat that food because of the calories. It was like, no, I don't want to eat that food because I want to live a long life. I want to nourish my body. I want to have that energy. Many of you guys who are listening to this podcast love working out. And how can you really have like a good workout when, you know, your joints are hurting you or you're feeling inflamed and bloated? I remember on my journey in 2018, there were so many days where I literally could not even work out because of how bloated I was from how much I've eaten and the certain foods that were just bloating me. Of course, when you're binging and you feel so bloated and inflamed, it's hard to even put on leggings. I remember not even being able to put on leggings because I was so inflamed and bloated. I didn't want that. So it was no longer like, oh, I don't want to eat those foods because it's high in calories. It's like, I don't want to eat those foods because they bloat me. Right? A healthy relationship with food is taking care of yourself. It's speaking kindly to yourself and not judging yourself with the foods that you're eating, but also like having healthy boundaries in place so that you're not just having a free-for-all. It's you're having control. You get to decide, yes, I want this, or no, I don't want these foods. Right? And I really want to stress this because I think a lot of the times people are scared or afraid to heal their relationship with food because it's like, well, I don't want to throw my health out the window. You're not going to throw your health out the window. In fact, I will say this so many times, I've never been as healthier as I ever have today. Why? Because when you stop binging, when you stop fearing food, when you stop thinking about food 24/7, you relieve so much stress. People don't recognize when you're obsessing over calories, that is so much more worse for you. I'll never forget, I was working with a functional medicine practitioner many, many years ago. And I was telling her like, sometimes I'm scared to eat this food. And not even like, yes, sometimes because of the calories, but also was like, I don't know if it's going to bloat me. And she said, you know what? it's actually better to just eat the food than spend so much time obsessing and stressing and fearing certain foods. And that's so true. I don't ever fear food anymore. I don't ever stress about food. I don't think about food. So of course, I'm going to be healthier. But also, when you don't have urges, guess what? You're not consuming 7 cookies in one sitting. At my parents' house this weekend, oh my gosh, my mom made all of these delicious treats. And there were like peanut butter cookies and double chocolate fudge brownies, like so many different things. She makes them all herself, and which I really like. I personally like that because, again, I just feel better. And they actually taste so freaking good. Like, these aren't just like crappy snacks. Like, these taste, I'm like, Mom, you need to open up a bakery shop because they're just so good. And I had a few, and I also had a bowl of fruit. Like, that's a healthy relationship with food. A healthy relationship with food isn't, oh, well, because I'm not dieting anymore, I'm going to have one of this and 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 eat until you're so like full. Like, that's not a healthy relationship with food. A healthy relationship with food is balance. It's okay. Yes, I'm allowed to have these snacks, but I also really want to nourish myself and feel really good. So I'm also going to have some fruit with it. Right? And that's like so empowering. You know, we have our snacks and then we also have a nourishing dinner. So we also had artichokes for dinner. If you've ever had artichokes, oh my gosh, this is like a family tradition of mine. We always have just artichokes, and then it's literally a bowl of olive oil, and you can add seasonings and whatever, and you just dip it in, and you have some bread and cheese on this side, and it's so good. But we've had still nourishing dinners. Just because you have these treats doesn't mean, oh, screw it, I'm not going to have a healthy dinner. Let's just order out. It's like, you can still be a very healthy person and have sweets and have bread and have cheese. Like, you can still be a healthy person. This is a healthy relationship with food. It's not going to the grocery store and go have a donut every single day and have chips every single day, because deep down, like, you don't even want that. One of my clients, I'd never forget, she said she went to her son's school it had like a breakfast going on, and there was like pastries and like donuts, and she was like, I'm literally turned off by that. Like, I don't even want that. Like, it doesn't even sound good. And there's so many times where, you know, I'm at social events or I'm, you know, at the grocery store, I can look at a bag of chips. I don't want a bag of chips. You give me dark chocolate, I'm all over that. You give me a bag of chips, I'm not even interested in that, right? And so a healthy relationship with food is not go buy the chips, go buy the cake, go buy the chocolate, go just eat whatever you want. That's literally when you're not taking care of your health. A healthy relationship with food is saying yes to the foods that you love. If you love a bowl of ice cream, have the bowl of ice cream, but don't be judging yourself the whole time. And then also, after having a bowl of ice cream, you can still have a nourishing dinner. That's where people get messed up or get things messed up, where it's like, oh, I had a bowl of ice cream, so I messed up today. No, you did not mess up. Having a bowl of ice cream is not messing up. Having a bowl of ice cream and then convincing yourself that you messed up and then just not even bother having a nourishing dinner at the end of the day, that's where things can get a little wonky. I've always cared about my health, and I am proof that you can feel really good in your own skin and eat plenty of foods that make you feel really good while also enjoying all the foods that you love. I never deprive myself, ever. I want the chocolate, I'm going to eat the chocolate. If we are out somewhere and I'm like, yeah, I do want some ice cream, I'm going to have the ice cream. If I want the bread, I'm going to have the bread. But I'm also not going to the grocery store and buying, you know, all these foods just because I technically can have them. No. So I'm proof that you can feel amazing in your own skin, still take really good care of your health, and have no urges to binge. And this is the approach that I teach my clients. And when you really master this, a healthy relationship with food while still really caring about your health, you'll be able to honor your cravings for the chocolate and stop after you've had a decent amount. You can say no to foods that don't make you feel well and not feel deprived, because you know that, like, you genuinely don't want to have those foods. You're going to be able to eat plenty of whole foods because that's what makes you feel good. You want to live a long, healthy life. I don't know about you, but like I want to live a long, healthy life. I don't want my joints to hurt. I want to be able to be like 90 years old and still go for my walks and still get in my workouts and just feel really good. Like this is not just about like, this is not just about eat whatever you want. Like, yes, a healthy relationship with food is eating the foods that you love without judgment, without obsession, without tracking your food 100%. But you also want to take good care of yourself. And I personally have never, ever, ever threw my health out the window through this entire journey. There were some coaches that were talking about, oh yeah, I drink Pepsi and Coke and I have chips and I eat donuts every day. And I'm like, that's great for you. I don't resonate with that. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. It's just for me, I'm like, I don't even want a donut every single day. Like I said, give me some dark chocolate. Give me my pancakes in the morning. I'm like, that's what does it for me. Right? And so I've never had to throw my health out the window. I've always take really good care of my health. Yes, of course, I needed to release judgment. I needed to make peace with these foods. Like that's, of course, the obvious. But I never had to purposely force myself to eat certain foods just because, freedom. No. Like if I actually did that once when I had no idea what I was doing. This was like probably 2016. I had no idea what I was doing. I remember going to the grocery store with my mom and buying all of these foods like cookies and goldfish and like all these different foods, like foods that I actually didn't even want, but I thought that I needed to have them because freedom, I'm allowed to. And I could not have, like, I literally felt the worst I've ever felt in my entire life. If you genuinely do not want the donut, you don't need to have the donut to say freedom. If you genuinely love eating at home, then you can eat at home and you can still have a good relationship with food. Right? Like, it's not about just eating junk. Like, it's about taking good care of yourself. Stopping when you're full, listening to your body, being intuitive versus listening to an app. This is what it's all about. You have full control. You got to decide what you want to eat. So I will not be the coach that just tells you, yep, go to the grocery store, buy all the trigger foods, and just eat them every single day. Like, no. Do you need to make peace with all of those foods that you love? Yes, but it's not purposely eating those foods. It's not. It's about what actually sounds good for you. What do you crave? And then honoring your body. Honoring your needs. What sounds good for you? Not what does social media say? Oh, well, I'm following this person and she says she has freedom and she eats a donut every single day. So like maybe I should eat donuts every day. No, if you don't want donuts every single day, don't eat donuts every single day. If you enjoy your homemade sourdough bread, eat that. If you enjoy your dark chocolate, eat that. If you enjoy a bowl of ice cream, enjoy that. Right? It's about cultivating a healthy relationship with food, with all different foods, but it's not going out of your way and just eating foods that you actually don't even want or foods that don't make you even feel good. So I wanted to share this because I know so many of you listening to this really care about your health and you don't want to throw your health out the window. And I'm telling you right now, when you work with me, you just get healthier. Like, I'm kidding you not, like you just get healthier. Why? You're not binging, you have less stress, there's less obsession. You can actually focus on your gut health. You can actually take better care of yourself because you're not binging, because you're not feeling deprived, because you can trust yourself, because you love yourself so much that you're going to eat the most nourishing foods for your body. This is what it's all about.